Hey, it's Anthony Iannarino, international speaker, author of The Only Sales Guide You'll Ever Need, a sort of unfortunate title for a guy with a 2-book deal and an option on the 3rd book. The 2nd book, The Lost Art of Closing, Winning the 10 Commitments That Drive Sales, and now Eat Their Lunch, Winning Customers Away from Your Competition, released on November 6, 2018. And listen, what I want to do here is I want to bring you up to speed, because if you haven't read the 1st book, or even if you have, this is a good reminder. And if you haven't read the 2nd book, those books prepare you for the content in Eat Their Lunch, a book about competitive displacements or stealing customers away from your competition. Because for most of us who live in the red ocean, that's what we do. We have to go out and gain market share and gain accounts by taking them away from our competitors. And listen, they're doing the same thing to us. It's a zero-sum game. Somebody wins, somebody loses. This is how to play the game to win. And I want to start by the premise that I started The Only Sales Guide with, which is sales is really mindset plus skill set plus toolkits. That's what I said at the beginning of that book. But someone on Twitter said, no, I think you're wrong. And I'm always a person that's willing to take criticism or new ideas. This person said, you're wrong. It is actually skill set plus toolkit multiplied by the mindset. The mindset is actually more valuable than the skill set and the toolkit. It multiplies your results. And I immediately changed my mind about this. And if we ever revise this book, the 1st book, The Only Sales Guide You'll Ever Need, I'm going to make that change, because this person who commented is exactly right. But I want to tell you that the premise is still true. Your mindset still matters, and the skill sets still matter. And there's 17 elements, and you need to be really good at all of them if you're going to sell effectively today. So first, we're going to start with mindset, and then we're going to take a look at skill sets, so you get the complete view of what a salesperson has to be in order to win business today. So let me get started here with mindset. So we're going to take a look at these elements. There's 9 of these. The first one is self-discipline. If you don't have the discipline to keep the commitments that you make to yourself, and you can't follow up and you can't keep the commitments you make to your clients, and you can't prospect without being told, you're going to have a very, very tough time succeeding in sales today. There's just no 2 ways about it. Self-discipline is the foundation for everything that comes behind it. And the first publisher that looked at this book said, why would you ever start a book with self-discipline? Everybody hates that. But Jocko doesn't hate that, and I don't hate it, and you can't hate it either. It's just something you have to have. The second thing is optimism. You have to have a positive, optimistic, future-oriented, empowered attitude. And the reason that follows discipline is because it's very hard to protect your mindset from all the things going on in the world and the news and all of the complaining on Facebook. It's difficult, but you have to maintain a positive attitude, because selling isn't easy. You're going to hear no, and you have to continue on anyway. Number 3, caring. It does matter that you're other-oriented. This is not Glengarry Glen Ross time anymore. You can't be smarmy, self-oriented, pushy, hard sell, high pressure. It doesn't work. It won't serve you. You have to be other-oriented and just go into this knowing, I'm here to serve other people. And if you can help other people, like Zig said, you're going to get everything you want because you helped others get what they want. The 4th thing is competition. Okay, when I wrote this, people were like, it's too aggressive. You can't talk about competition. When I started writing about it on the blog, people said, wait a second, you're describing it like it's a blood sport. People are going to behave badly. But it's true. Sales is a zero-sum game. Someone wins, so it is a competition. And that makes you a competitor, whether you want to be or not, and we don't talk enough about this. We'll talk about it more and Eat Their Lunch. But you have to win by taking clients away or competing for and beating your competitors. So I love this meme that goes by on Facebook. It says, I don't want to be better than anyone else. I just want to be better than I was yesterday. Okay, well, be better than you were yesterday and be better than your best competitor today, because that's what you're up against. I'm going to number 5 here. My favorite attribute, resourcefulness. So this is the linchpin of all the attributes. Resourcefulness means you can figure things out for yourself. You can take a look and say, even if no one gives me direction, even if I don't know how to do this, I'm going to find a way. I'm going to be creative. I'm going to use my intangible ability to come up with new ideas, and I'm going to find a way to do something different. After that, we're going to take a look at initiative. Initiative means you're proactive. You take action without having to be told to take action, and without that, you're not going to be a value creator, at least not as well as you could be. So we call it persistence here. If you give up, you're not going to win in sales. You can't give up. You have to find a way to persist. When someone says no, you have to take it as feedback that you need to change your approach and do something different. That's why it follows resourcefulness and initiative here. Now we get to communication, right? Communication means, can you listen to other people? Can you share your ideas? Are you able to help them see something that they can't see through the words and the images that you paint by talking to people? That's a critical component. And then after that, accountability. You sold it, you own it. So if you pretend like you don't own it after you sell it, you're not going to do well for anybody. Okay, I'm going to move us forward to skill sets. What do you have to know how to do to be an effective salesperson today? And there's 8 of these that you need, and I know these in order for sure. I know them backwards and forward. Number 1, closing. Okay, I know it's not popular. Coffee's not for closers. It's not Glengarry or Gillen Ross. I get that. That's fine. But what I will tell you is that selling is about making a series of commitments that moves the client from their current state to the better future state. Time, explore, change, the whole thing. You got to get all of those commitments if you're going to move things forward. After that, prospecting. You have to be able to create opportunities. Sales is 2 things: opportunity creation, opportunity capture. Prospecting is how you create those opportunities. And then we get to storytelling. Storytelling means, can you show me a vision of the future, and can you tell me how I can get there? Can you tell me about the dragons that we're going to have to slay on the way? Where are the problems going to be? How can you help me actually make this change in my organization? We call that storytelling. You can call it presenting if you want to, and you can think of it as standing up in a boardroom, but a lot of times it's just us having a conversation with people. After that, we're going to talk about diagnosis. And this means, can you look past what somebody says the presenting problem is? We're having problem with this. Okay, but what's the real problem? Can you find what their real issue is, or what the military calls the ground truth? What's really happening, and how do you fix that? After that, we get to negotiation. Okay, so everyone wants a win-win deal. But when you go to your client and say, look, I want a win-win deal, they're like, well, I'm concerned about my win. And it's a different thing. So you have to have negotiation skills. They didn't wake up hoping that you get a win. They're hoping that you help them get their win. And the more you understand how to negotiate, the more effective you're going to be as a salesperson. Okay, these are all what I would call Generation 1 and Generation 2 sales skills. Let's get to Generation 3 sales skills, where things really get different. You've got to be able to have business acumen, and what I also call situational knowledge. You've got to be able to say, I understand your business. I know the trends that are impacting your business. I can help you make good decisions around your business. We call that business acumen. And when you do this for thousands of people and your customer does it for one company, you know more than they do. Change management. This means, can you build consensus? Can you help an organization make organizational change? That's what's required of you now. So the bar has been raised very, very high for salespeople now. Without the business acumen, without the ability to lead change, you're not going to help enough clients, and you're not going to be a trusted advisor. Okay, so here we go. We got one more here. And the last one is leadership. And no one's going to come along and tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, guess what? I need you to be a leader now. You're going to have to learn how to be a leader. They're never going to tell you that. Here's what you need to know. If you're going to deal with your team effectively, and if you're going to deal with your client's team, you are already a leader, and that means you're responsible. These are the 17 elements, and I'm giving you this because you need a quick survey on where you're deficient, because you're going to need this to get into book number 2, The Lost Art of Closing, which we'll give you next. And in video 3, we're going to walk you through Eat Their Lunch. I'm Anthony Iannarino. Thanks for watching this. I'll see you on the next video.